Okay, so here's the project. This one, I made this in, 2018. I just moved into a new house. I had like a new studio and stuff. I was super excited because I could turn up all my stuff super loud. And so this one, I want it to just be like out of control sounding. And I think I nailed that. So let's just go piece by piece and walk through what is creating all these sounds. So main sound is going to be this thing called Dreamy Pad. This is what it sounds like. And then a little later, the filter opens up. So what this is, it's a synth called Razor. I was using this a lot back in the day. I don't really use it that much anymore because it's kind of confusing. Like I don't fully understand like what's going on when I'm using it. But it starts like this. Oh, and I'll take off all these effects too. So it starts like this. Little bit of vibrato on the pitch, and then a glide up using an envelope. And then next I just low pass it. Little comb peak. And I'm boosting it so it's starting to clip too. And then this is weird. This is just like we have all these like filters and stuff here, and it's a little mysterious like what they actually all do. And I'm not totally sure. I'm no expert, but I settled on this one. To my ear, it's doing like a little bit of detuning. And then we have this reverb. This is a synthesized reverb, so it's not like a reverb necessarily. It kind of works like an oscillator. So it's actually like creating notes. Not very loud, to be honest. And then this limiter is super dirty. So that's the sound straight out of the synth. And then a little bit of EQ, cut out some of the highs. Reverb with max dry wet. It's pretty big, and then we also have like a chorus on it. And then this tilt shift is just for automation filtering. And cutting out some of the lows of that too. So this is like the main sound in the song. And then of course we have the bass. So if you have followed my music for a while, this is from one of my songs called Pine. Pretty old song, so I'd be surprised if any of you guys know it. But I'm using one of my favorite synths here. This is Massive. I've been using this, like I used to make dubstep like way back in the day, and everybody used Massive. And so this is one of the synths that I know like the best outside of some of the default Ableton synths. But here, I'll build it up for you. So here's what we got. Saw wave. Another saw wave detuned. And then this oscillator called Lunacy. Here's what it sounds like without, I'll show you in a sec. Here's what it sounds like. So super weird, but then if you do something called phase modulation on it, I turn it up about halfway. Check out what happens. So this is kind of what we call like a Reese bass. So this is the basic sound before filtering. And then it goes through a band reject filter. So kind of scooping out those mids a little bit. And then that band reject goes into a low pass filter. So it's got a lot of movement down below, and then we just low pass that. And then I'm adding this classic tube, like I guess saturation or distortion. So that's basically the sound. After that, it's just getting filtered. And that's about it. I'm doing like some mid-side thing here, but I don't think it's actually doing anything. So don't worry about that. But I cut it at about 40 hertz and then above like 150. And I think it sounds great. I love the space. I use it all the time. Probably one of my favorite parts of this song is the guitar though. Here's the guitar. What I did, so the sound going in is this. And what you're hearing here is, so I've got like this tube amp. I'll like take a picture of it or something and like show it on the screen. But it's this really old tube amp, and I just turned it up all the way, so it's like absolutely distorted. And then I ran that into, I had a what is it? It's like a MIDI verb. I want to say it's Elisa's. I'll throw that up on the screen too. But I mic'd my guitar amp, ran it through the MIDI verb, and just like clipped the input super hard on like a not super long like reverb. You can kind of get some individual notes here. So the guitar's distorted, the reverb's input's distorted, everything just sounds crazy, and you can see from the waveform there's like zero transients. It's just like absolutely smashed. And then after that, I ran it into this plate reverb. This is from Sound Toys. It's nothing crazy. You could use any plate reverb. Pretty long, like about 8 or 10 second decay on that. And then of course just kind of filtered it. And then this is for filtering. So you can see I've got a little automation here. I'll show you. So I'm cutting out a bunch of lows in the intro. And then I let it kind of have its full frequency range there. Here's the highs too. So that's the guitar sound. Probably my favorite part of the track is the guitar because it's just like so out of control and crazy. And then after that we have drums. So here's the drums. And piece by piece, there's nothing crazy about these drums. Like, I made some of these sounds. These are like, I called it like Foley drums. I might have put this up on like my website at one point. You could probably download them. But you know, we got a kick. This is from some sample pack. And then we got just like a bunch of little sounds I recorded. So I kind of labeled them like, like blop, dink, scraps, tambourine, dink 2. Here's what they sound like. Where is it? Tambo's broken. So these are just like random sounds, and then the ride. This is like an Ableton ride. But if we solo out, or I guess I'll just get rid of some of these. Here's like the kind of like the snare stack. And that's the sound you're getting for the snare. It's like this, like, I don't know, textural sort of snare. And then we add the hats in. And then of course the kick. And then processing wise, there's a little bit going on like each of these, but you know, just EQ, compression and stuff. Some of it's actually even broken too. But processing wise, you know, also nothing crazy, nothing really worth like noting. But then what is worth noting is that I duplicated it, and then I did this little like Echo Boy trick. So if you have Sound Toys plugins, you can use Echo Boy. You could use any delay for this though. So I put this on like a ping pong delay, so it's going a little left and right. And then I made one side 0 milliseconds, the other side's 4.7, just like a really small difference between them. And when you do that, you get like a really wide sound. It's called like the Haas effect. And it's just a way to make things sound super wide. And this has some styles built into it, so you can saturate a little bit. So this is like the studio tape style. And if I click this, you can see there's like a bunch of different like sounds. I thought this one sounded the best, but you can kind of push the input, push the saturation a little bit, and it sounds nice. And so what I've done, I've just like filtered this out a little bit and then flipped the phase so it doesn't interact too much with like the original drums. And what this, it's just sort of like a way to widen up your drums a little bit, give it kind of a weird sound. People do that in studios sometimes, where like you'll record a drum kit and then maybe you'll have like a room mic and you just like distort the hell out of it and then just like layer that in with the drum sound. That's kind of what I was trying to emulate here. So here's the drums together. I wanted it to just be like as big as possible. Like just heavy and intense. So I'm going to talk about the master effects, but let me just share like kind of a little bit of the song real quick. So there's a ton of stuff on the master, and then let me show that, but I'm gonna close and reopen this real quick because something sounds a little off. This kind of thing happens all the time with these old projects. Like things will break, and like with all these old songs that I'm like recapping, I've had to like go in and kind of repair them a little bit. So sometimes things just inexplicably like stop working, and I was missing like some reverb on the snare. So let me see. Sounds right. So I'll show you the master effects, but first I'll get rid of everything so you can hear it before it sounds way different. Okay, so there's a little trick I'm doing here. And if you'll notice, like I mixed the kick like super loud compared to everything. So without the master effects, it kind of sounds garbage. So this is sort of a 404 technique from the SP404. If you mix your kick and your snare super, super loud and then your instrument's really quiet, when you run it through the 404's compressor, it's a really intense compressor, it creates like a side chaining effect. And so that's what I've kind of emulated here. So running this through first, saturation. So this is my favorite saturator. This is Decapitator. And this is just to distort those kicks a little bit. And then we got an imager, making the tops a little wider. And then of course, Wolf compressor. I'll show you this. A lot of compression on it. And then we're running Saturn, so another saturator. This is compressing it even more, and it's adding a little bit of tape saturation. And then originally this was going into Ozone 7, but I had to kind of recreate it in Ozone 9 because I don't have 7 anymore. So just give it like a quick basic master. I don't think I don't do much for mastering usually, but a little equalization, catching some of these peaks here that were a little problematic. and then just making it loud. So here's what it sounds like. Okay, so there is one last step that I did, and I need to move some stuff on my patch bay real quick. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll show you what this like last step is. Okay, so at the time I had this set up, but I was recording my voice through it, so I'm just redoing this. So what this is doing is going through my outboard compressor, but it's not really for that. Like, I'm kind of skipping the compressor. It's just sort of like the way I have it wired. But this is going through my 404. So you can hear this. So kind of the last step with this, and actually this was here. The last step with this was just to run it through my 404's compressor, because since we're going like all the way out of control with it, the 404's compressor is just like very, very heavy handed. So I just like smashed it through the compressor, and I'll give you a little before and after. Okay, so here's before. Maybe I should be filming this on my phone. Okay, so here's before. And this is after. So it just gives it that like, it gives it that final little bit of craziness that I think that this song needed. Like, we're already going through 2 layers of saturation, already a compressor here. It's hitting another compressor before it even hits my 404. Maybe I'll like add a picture of that. So it's hitting another compressor before it hits my 404, and then the 404 compression is just kind of the last step before it hits the master. And so here's the track. I'll play it from like here, and you can just, now that you know the parts, you can just kind of see how this is all going together. And yeah. So I'll kind of leave it at that. As always, so I actually have like a running list going of some of the songs I want to do. Let me just check on that real quick. So on my song list here, we have Patience, we have Starless 2 and It Rains All Day that I did with like Spotify, Springly, City Sound, Lakewood, All the Time, Elusive I don't have, Sunrise I don't have, Blur with G Mills I might have, Red Echoes with Imagiro I might have. So I was thinking maybe I do the Spotify ones or Patience or something next. If there's like any in particular you'd want me to do, like leave a comment and I'll like prioritize it. But otherwise I'll just go through kind of whatever I feel like doing here. But also let me know what else you want to see. I was thinking of doing like a rundown of like some of my favorite plugins that I like to use and like how I like to use them. And another idea I had was to do like making a song with like only stock plugins. So that's just kind of tossing a couple ideas out there. If any of them are interesting, like I'd love to do it. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.